Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm your host, Jim Goddard. We're speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Larry, I understand you've just put out a news release on your research program. We're speaking March 8th. What can you tell us about the news for your shareholders?
Everything is good, Jim. The testing is going well. The final results, of course, are still a month away. But once those are out, we should have a very good grip on the cobalt and lithium recoveries, and this is going to be a big boon for the company. Certainly, we've put out 3 releases in the last little while. Every one of them very positive. We've done a MOU with Ames Labs, which is part of the DOE, and we've been invited to share our program, our recycling opportunity with the members of the Cobalt Institute in May. That's recognition that we're on the right track, and although the stock did go down a bit today, it was kind of under pressure. Remembering listening to the interview that you had with Pat Powers last week, of course, that's a lot of that's manipulation and by predator traders, and we just have to get through that, and we will. Everything is going well. We've got other big presentations coming up, which once they're all firmed up, we'll be announcing. So it's updating the program. We've still got lots of cash in the treasury. We're not pushed to do anything at the moment. If the opportunity arises, we will do something on the financing side. And it's just another update for the shareholders, because it was a long, dry period from the last time we announced results. And people begin to think, well, what are they doing? Are they sitting on bad news, or, are they trading on good news? You just have to clear the decks every once in a while and let people know that everything's on the up and up, and that we're not expecting any negative negative results from our research program. Cometco is very dedicated to it. We're going to speed that program up. They have to hire more bodies, so we've got to coordinate that with them. But everything's on track, and our schedule is on track from our December 19th announcement. So it's I feel very good about the program, and let's just put it this way. Things can happen that could be negative, but, when the chemistry's right and everything else is right, the results speak for themselves. Now, another reason for getting this out is a lot of companies are talking about recycling out there now. Ever since we got on the scene, you're starting to see more and more of it. They pretty much some of them use the same jargon that we use. When I say that, we're talking about recycling and environmentally clean and recoveries and the cathode material, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the one thing that they don't do, that we do, is they don't put out what their recoveries are, what they're doing. They just kind of go from 0 to 100 by skipping all that and talking about producing cathode materials. Well, after being in research several times, we certainly went through a long period with the patented process that we used for producing electrolytic manganese metals, which was electrolytic manganese metal and electrolytic manganese dioxide and chemical manganese dioxide. We went through a lot of hoops, and we got the patents on that. We spent millions of dollars doing that. The time was from 2008 to 2012. But the end result was that we had a patented process which is now patented in the U.S., China, and South Africa. And that's the basis, the whole root of our ongoing patent research. And we've now applied last year, actually, for the patents on all the different chemistries in the cathode material. So, everything is moving lockstep. I mean, the company was very fortunate that this patented process that we have had since 2012 works as a route, as a basis to spin off our recycling program. And that was recognized by Cometco, and we're moving ahead with it. And, I'm smiling going ahead, Jim.
Can you maybe explain what American Manganese has a patent on and why it's so important for investors to know about it? Maybe just tell us a bit about it.
Well, there's a lot of talk about Tesla, using manganese, electrolytic manganese dioxide in their battery storage. We've certainly got a lot of resources down in Artillery Peak that we can actually produce the EMD at a cost of, our initial cost for electrolytic manganese metal on that patent was about $1 a pound overall. The first 5 years was 90 cents a pound. And when you're producing electrolytic manganese dioxide, you can almost knock 40% off that because your power goes down to about 10 to 15% of the power required, which is a big component. And the reagent cost goes way down because electrolytic manganese dioxide or chemical manganese dioxide is 60% manganese and 40% oxygen. So as you can see, we're probably, with the current price of around 95 to $1 on electrolytic manganese dioxide, we currently should be well in the money if we were to move ahead in that regard. But we're going to stay focused on the recycling because there's a huge value in a concentrated form of the cathode materials, and especially cobalt, which is pretty much on the list of a commodity that's going to be spiking here in the near future. And I don't think people look at us as a cobalt supplier, but if they go to our December 19th press release, they'll see what the value is in a, say, roughly 1,000-pound battery when it comes to the various cathode materials, and they'll see, of course, that cobalt in every one of them is the most valuable component. So, and we know already, especially after this recent release, that we can get 100% of the cobalt. And that's a big, and that's in a form that could go right back to the battery manufacturer with high purity. So the initial patent, which is very crucial and important to this thing, is now, it looks like we're coming up on several fronts here on opportunities for the company. And, it's just, we've managed to keep the company intact over the last 5-year, call it a drought. It was more like, it was worse than a drought. But anyway, we kept it alive and kept it intact, and now we're starting to enjoy the benefits of that.
And jurisdictions around the world are doing things to encourage electric cars in BC. I think the government gives you a grant of $3,500 for a reasonably priced electric car. In the UK, they're changing the way cars are taxed when you buy them. If you buy a zero-emission vehicle April 1st and on, you don't pay any extra tax. But if you buy a vehicle that has a high carbon index, you pay up to $4,000 extra for your vehicle. So a lot of promise on the electric front, whether they're using the carrot or stick approach.
Well, that's certainly beneficial for us in the short term. And but I see we're reaching a tipping point here where electric vehicles will be able to compete cost-wise with gas or diesel. And at that time, these grants won't really matter that much. They'll certainly still help. They'll induce people to move from, say, a B8 to a electric vehicle because of that grant. And but once people are in focus that these electric cars have a lot of power. They just don't make the noise that you have on the gas engines. I think the electric vehicle is reaching a point where it'll be competitive out in the world with automobiles. And when I mean automobiles, I'm talking about your regular stop-at-the-pump automobile. And we're seeing the gas prices go up again, which is another thing that's very good for the electric vehicle market, because higher the gas price goes, the more prohibitive buying a gas automobile becomes. It becomes more costly. So, with storage and everything else, you should be able to balance out the what's going to happen on the grid, and your electric vehicle is going to take top spot. It's just going to.
And you could get your power for free if you put solar panels on your house, had decent storage batteries, again, using some of your products' recycled stuff, and basically have the energy for your car for free after the initial cost.
Well, we always talk about, recycling electric vehicle batteries. That's because we get all of the cathode materials in one area. And it's going to be less work on the shredding and the preparation side of the cathode material to begin the metallurgical side, which we understand fully because we've been in the mining business, at least I have, for 53 years. And these other chemistries that are out there, and some of them will definitely work for us. All of your lithium-ion battery chemistries that have cobalt, nickel, and manganese in them, could, we're talking about laptops, cell phones. We could do those, but they're all different. They pose different problems. We want to stick with the one, but there's great opportunity in the storage battery area. And, that's an area that we haven't fully investigated yet, but we're taking baby steps, and certainly doing electric vehicles is going to be a huge, huge undertaking. You're talking about millions of cars, and over the years you're talking about millions of spent batteries. And you can just imagine how many recycling plants you're going to need. They're going to be in the thousands or tens of thousands around the world. So, and you also reduce the dependency on mined material. All this stuff is great for the environment. But at the end of the day, you have to make money. And, we're looking at the hydrometallurgical sides a slam dunk for us, cost-wise or anything else. But, the actual shredding and the preparation and that, once that's down pat and it's done mechanically, that will be a slam dunk too. But there's a lot of money to actually to be made in a recycling program.
Larry, where is American Manganese traded, and how can people contact the company?
American Manganese is traded on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY, and on the U.S. exchange under the symbol AMYZF, and in Frankfurt under 2AM. Company can be researched at AmericanManganeseInc.com, which is our website, and we can be reached at 778-574-4444, or people can reach me directly at LREAUGH@AMYMN.com.
Larry, thank you very much for the update.
Well, you're welcome.
We were speaking March 8th. I'm Jim Goddard.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.